Can you see her on the couch being cute? She's sleeping. Hi, baby. Aw, did you hear that little meow? Hi. Yeah. So for today's video, I figured we could do a little afternoon plant chores slash mini houseplant update. It's in the afternoon on Monday. I actually just got back in the house. I went to UPS to drop all the packages off for this week's sale. So thank you so much to everyone who bought something. Tomorrow I'm gonna be back, I think, on the moss pole chopping train. I haven't chopped any more since the last video. That's why my plant room is, honestly, it's just chaos right now. There's poles everywhere all over the floor. I have these new plants here that I still have to take care of. I have the Zebrina, and then this is the Clearance Maranta. I honestly, maybe I'll treat those with you later. I need to wipe their leaves down again and actually give them water. I haven't watered this one yet, so I need to take care of those. And let me show you my Philodendron Splendid. So you guys know my moss pole fell. Well, this is the top cut of my pole. This is where it got damaged when it fell. Look how big this leaf is compared to my head. Isn't that crazy? So this is currently in water, and I'm rooting it in water. Look at the crazy root system. Those aerial roots, how they formed. Can you see that? Look at that. So it's starting to root here. And it's just like, it reminds me of a spider, and I don't like spiders. So this is like the lead leaf here. And so a new growth point will come out of here. Now, once this roots a bit more, my plan is to plant this back into my moss pole. I haven't chopped it yet. So my goal is to like chop it in half, and then I'll have a bunch of propagations. And then I'll plant this in there with it. This will definitely size down significantly because it doesn't have the root system to grow and maintain big leaves. So this will probably be really wonky, really small. And then once this plant grows some roots, it establishes and it starts to take in nutrients and can start to climb again, it'll start sizing up. I feel like it shouldn't take too long, but I don't know. It's just like the lead leaf, the biggest leaf I have. So I really want it to keep growing big. I was really sad when it fell. I haven't showed you guys this. It's a new plant. So I bought this from Rare Plant Fairy, I think a week after my last set of plants, or a week and a half. Some geese out there. And it's been chilling. It's in like the original mix and everything. One of the pretty leaves yellowed off, so it has some gorgeous leaves left. That one. This is the Micans Aria. That one. That one. This one is okay. This one's a little damaged. This one was unfurling as it was being shipped to me, so it's a little messed up. And this is like post arrival. This leaf here is kind of messed up. And this is another one that's growing, which it's variegated. It's just, you know, it's still unfurling. My original plan was to do, I still am going to do this one on a moss pole, but I was thinking I might propagate it because of these two leaves. I was thinking about chopping it here, doing this on a pole, and then propping these three. That's what I was thinking, but I don't know. The Micans Aria that I got imported, you know, wasn't doing well, and that's why I got that one, because I really wanted a Micans Aria. And since this one that I got imported wasn't growing, I just wanted to go ahead and get another one. So I took the import, this is like all that's left, and you can actually see there's roots on it now. So it was actually rotting again, and so I just cut this top growth off. It just had this leaf, and so it's done these two little ones post being in water. So I don't know if this is going to do anything. There was also this maroony leaf here. It has some roots, but I don't see like a new growth point activated yet. So I don't know if this thing is even going to survive or what it's going to do, but I just chopped it and I have it in water right now, and we'll see what happens. This import did not import well. All the goslings are running by my window right now. It's so cute. If they come back, I'll show you them again. If they come back this way. So yeah, that's all that's left of this one. So that's why I got that one. Now, if this does start to grow well and I get some good color, then I'll probably propagate in the future, but I didn't have high hopes for this surviving. And these two Hoyas that I did recently with you are doing well. I feel like they're growing and stabilizing and doing fine. I love that whole trellis situation. And the orchid that I repot is actually working on a new leaf right there. You can see. One of the biggest things that I did, I think I did this day before yesterday, is I chopped my black Maranta. So I propagated all these and they're just in water now. Look at this pretty new leaf. Isn't that gorgeous? And it's working on a new one up here. So I don't want to move it just because I feel like they're going to fall if I take them out. But yeah, I'm going to propagate this. Once I have a good little root system, I'm going to move this into pond just because my light veins and my other lemon lime that's in pond is doing so well that I just feel like this one's going to really love pond. And then this is the bottom cut here that's in soil. And this one survived flat mites. So I feel like it had a little bit of a setback and then it started growing better. So I don't know if chopping it was a good idea or not. I probably should have left it, but I know I'm going to be happier with it in pond. So that's kind of why I did that. Those Hoyas down here that I chopped are doing okay. I think one of them didn't make it. The Rutusa, it just all shriveled up. So once they root, I will pop them back up, but I haven't seen any more mealies, thank goodness. This is the bottom Maranta. So I have the cuttings. I actually need to move the cuttings into pond. I forgot, I'm gonna do my variegated Maranta into pond. So I took like a bunch of variegated strands and this is all the bottom reverted, but it looks like I have a new growth in here that's coming in with some variegation, which is cool. This little spike here, and there's one here. So maybe this guy will come back fully variegated, who knows? But it looks a lot happier, like it's given me a ton of new leaves. So maybe it just needed a little haircut. I adore this Syngonium. I really want a variegated Chia Pens now because I really love this frosted heart. So I think I might have to get one soon. My Jessiana is growing back. I took a bunch of cuttings. This is the main plant. Look at that color. And then I have my big moss pole. My big moss pole was started from here. But yeah, I have a ton of cuttings propagating and then I'll look at letting them go. And now that I have her getting more light, I feel like she's gonna appreciate that and give me a lot of like brighter color because in lower light levels, the variegation isn't as prominent. All right, when I get new plants, I don't like to repot them or anything. So this Zabrina, I had already sprayed it down once and I know the dining area isn't really a quarantine area because there's plants in here, but I feel like it's the only spot that can get like a decent amount of light. It's not like great light, but I definitely don't want to put any new plants in my plant room right away. The pests that I tend to see at the big box store are mealies and spider mites. I do try to look the plant over in the store before I take it home, and if it has pests, I won't buy it. So I'm gonna cut some of these crispy tips away just to clean this plant up a bit. Especially where Chai had chewed. I'm just like, right here where he chewed it. I'm just kind of cutting it so it's straight. Just makes it look a little nicer. Now, crispy tips are completely normal. I get them all the time. I feel like once this plant kind of settles into my space and it gets my water and kind of adjusts to my environment, it'll grow a bit better. But these older leaves will definitely take a bit of a hit. All right, so this is a new leaf that came in. This is also very normal. It has some browning there. It's just like post, you know, being in my space. It's been in one environment, now it's in my environment. Doesn't mean anything's wrong. It just, sometimes the new leaves come in weird until they can kind of settle in. But first I'm gonna water again and I'm gonna go ahead and spray her down again. So I have my watering can. And this here is my water with fertilizer and everything. I'm gonna do half and half. I'm not gonna go in at full strength. I'm gonna pour about half that. And this is just filtered water with the stress coat drops. And I'm gonna add some of this in there just to dilute the fertilizer. Some prayer plants can be a little more sensitive to harsher fertilizer. So since it's probably not used to getting food initially. I want to try and be gentle. And that could be where some of the burning came from. Is I did water this with full strength, I think, the other week when I got it. So this looks like just cocoa husk and cocoa core. I don't see anything else. I can actually just pull this out of here. Yeah, that is literally all it is. Now it might have a plug around the base, but I'm gonna give it some time to settle in, and then I'll repot it. But I have a feeling this one probably doesn't want to dry out just because of the crisping that I got already. I'm just gonna give it another good spray. And then I'm gonna clean the leaves with some diluted vinegar, but I'm gonna let that sit for like a few minutes. All right, so this is the Maranta. It's definitely thirsty, very, very thirsty. I did a quick look over in the store and I didn't see any pest on this plant, like no spider mites or anything. But I haven't cleaned the leaves yet, so we're gonna do a spray down. Mealies do like Maranta, so I need to like check in here in the crevices. I just do a quick little check. So this leaf is a little damaged. I'm gonna go ahead and just cut that one. I'm cutting that one, just kind of cleaning it up a bit. And if it's curling up, I have a Calathea that I need to rehab. It's curling up like this too, and it's not thirsty. So I'm wondering if there's something wrong with the root system, which is kind of interesting, it being like a Calathea and there's something being wrong with the root system. I don't know. I need to investigate that one. I'm cutting that leaf off too. Yeah, so once this gets some water, it'll stop curling, or if the root system's okay. I'm gonna pluck this up out of here and just peek. Yeah, this is just perlite and soil. Let's give this a good water. It needs it. I don't always let it sit. You can, it leaves a residue, so just keep that in mind if you let it sit. I would at least let it sit for like a few minutes, because you don't want to rinse it off right away, because then it's not going to be effective. And I also clean the pots. I just like to clean them. You never know what's hiding in here. This pot is so pretty too. It's still crazy to me that this plant was on clearance. And this one I got at my Ace Hardware. I think I washed this one out already, but I'm gonna wash it out again. Spray some Dawn down in here. I just adore this pot so much. It's so stinking cute. She's a pretty Calathea. Can't believe I've never had a Zabrina before. Look how pretty she is. I'm gonna take some water and pour a little vinegar, just diluted. Just the acid will take the hard water stains and like residue off the leaves. You can rinse it again after if you like, if you don't want to smell the vinegar. A quick update in here. So these are the Hoyas that I was watching out for mealies, and I checked them the other day when I was watering and I didn't see any. I didn't like do an absolute thorough check, but so far so good. And my Hoya Sunrise, Oh my gosh, I hadn't watered it since then. It was so thirsty. I actually really need to repot this one. But all the blooms are coming back. Here's one that's open. Let me show you. There's so many blooms on here. Oh, look how pretty. I love Hoya Sunrise blooms. There's so many peduncles. They're like everywhere, all over. I really love this Hoya. I really wanted to prop and sell some for the shop because I love Hoya Sunrise, but I just wanted to make sure the mealies were gone. But I probably will take some cuttings here soon and just keep them isolated for a bit. Hoya Australis, this one here, got a little angry post horticultural oil treatment. It dropped like probably 10 leaves. They like dropped. So I'm keeping an eye on this one. It is pushing some new growth. I got new leaves coming on the latifolia here, right there. And then the obovata is growing away. It's doing so well. All these Maranta are doing very well. It's the time of the day where they start to look like spiders, so they aren't as full and pretty looking as they normally are, but I gave them a thorough drink. Love this big Tenanthe. I just love her so much. I love all these. So yeah, they're just chilling. So this is the Calathea that was in the bathroom. Let me take it over to the sink. So I need to investigate her. I remember from my houseplant tour, I said she looked a bit sad, and this leaf curling is not normal. They normally do this when I find when they're thirsty, but there's something else going on with her. She hasn't really pushed new growth in a while, but I haven't really, honestly, like I don't even know what's going on down there. That mix is probably so old. So I think after I do some more updates with you, I'll dump her out and we'll take a look at her. I'm thinking about transitioning this one to semi-hydro. I actually might just put her in water for the time being. Let's go ahead and give you a quick update over here. So this is the light veins Maranta since I put it in pond. It is so freaking happy. Like, look at that new leaf. Look how beautiful she is. The variegated alocasia I did recently, the dragon scale is pushing a new leaf since being in pond, and then I moved this one to stratum temporarily and it has a new leaf coming in. And I did move a couple plants out because they were getting too tall. The pink poly is now my plant room. This ninja I need to repot. This is outgrowing that tiny pot. That was a tissue culture that I did. I need to upsize the silver dragon in pond. It definitely needs an upsize. Look at that. Look at all those corms popping out of there. It's insane. And this is one of the Fridex that I was gonna sell, but it's very white. I'm gonna wait and see what it does. I feel like, yeah, it's actually gonna push a new leaf soon, right here. As long as it's like not white, I might look at letting this one go. It's just gonna be very sensitive. The Watsonia here has been very slow, and I moved this one here, and then I have another one of my little babies back there. And then the ÅKERBÄR over here is doing very well. So this one, I bought this as a multiflora, but in my houseplant tour, somebody said this wasn't a multiflora, but it had like a really long runner. I actually chopped it, and I'm gonna root the runner. And I chopped, which other one did I chop? Oh, I chopped the New Guinea Ghost. It was doing like a really long runner thing too, so I chopped it. This Hoya IM08 is pushing a new strand. This one I'm gonna let grow some more. I would really like to maybe sell a cutting, but it's doing this like beautiful half moon variegation over here, and I really want it to grow before I think about getting rid of it. Oh my gosh, I thought that was a mealy bug. I swear mealies haunt me. It's not. And then this one over here, the Heshglana, I think, is finally starting to grow. It's taken forever. But I see little leaves in there finally. And it looks like the IM08 may be blooming again right there, little peduncles. A lot of them are still in stratum though, so I would like to probably upgrade some of these to soil. Let me quickly give you guys a little update in this mess of a plant room. I have poles everywhere, just a warning. I haven't been able to do any more chops yet. Oh my gosh, it is a hot mess in here, you guys. I have big Adansonii, and it just popped this huge leaf. Look at that. This wasn't there yesterday. Yesterday it was literally just a sliver. It was just poking up just a little bit, and now this huge leaf came down. Like, it is longer than my forearm. This is gonna be a huge leaf. It's like so long. Look at that. That is insane. So that's gonna be her first leaf since she fell and I did the whole upsize and everything. This is her latest leaf, the one that took a tumble. Look how huge it is. She got a little torn when she fell right there. She's stretching in all directions right now because she doesn't know where to look for light. I tried to put some string there to hold the vines up, but I'm gonna move her to this corner over here. Once I actually chop these poles, I'm gonna move all these down this way. I'm gonna start putting the poles that I have done in that corner, and the Adansonia I think will be perfect in this corner because I have a little bit of wall space right there, and where she was at before was right here, and it's just, the space is not going to work for her. Majestic is doing well post chop. We have a new leaf coming in. It didn't even like get phased at all by the chop, not one bit. Look at this Escoleto. Look how huge this new leaf is. It's massive. Glorious has a new leaf coming in. These guys are just so overgrown. I really need to take care of them. Spid Blue is growing some nice fenestrated leaves post chop. Yeah, so much work to do. Splendid is here behind me. Splendid took a tumble. I showed you the top cut. And from the top cut, I should get, I think a new node is starting to activate. And it got damaged. So many leaves got damaged from the fall, especially like down here. I'm trying to water it in that corner, but it's just insane. There's no room for anything in here. My Pallidiflorums, this one gave me a new leaf, and this one's working on a new leaf right there, right here. So that's exciting. I reorganized this a little bit. It's not as overgrown, but it's still very overgrown. My Gloriosums I need to do in pon. I have some rehabs back there. My Gigas is growing back. I'm gonna get that one on a pole soon. This Ace of Spades is beautiful. My Clary has a new leaf. The berries on the Implo haven't really done much of anything yet. It's still kind of, I don't know if you can see it. You can see right there, they're not quite ready to, they're not ripe yet. Varicosum is doing very well post-chop. It is extremely happy. I have a new leaf coming in here. El Choco, I got the new planter in, so I'm gonna upsize El Choco. It's getting ready to push a new leaf. I had removed the old Cataphil on my Instagram story. It was so satisfying. But look at the size of this thing. It's huge. It is just ginormous. Jacqueline is huge too. I have two huge leaves. I moved my Heterophylla here. It is literally taking up this entire space now. It is so big. Look how big that one is. I'm gonna have to upsize that one too. This is my mama from all my seedlings. It gave me this new leaf. I had chopped her back. I think I talked about that. She had a fungal issue, so I now have her in semi-hydro from soil. She gives me inflows like crazy, and she's self-pollinated, so she's gonna be easy to pollinate again. And then I moved the pink poly here. That's that leaf. And then this is the new one. It has a decent amount of pink on it. You can kind of see there. So pretty. So I'm like rearranging this area still. I have some space here. And so both of my Monstera ties were shoved in this window. So I decided to move them down here for right now. I did get a planter. I'm gonna repot the big Monstera tie. I have them both shoved down here. I don't know if I'm gonna leave them there, but that's where I have them for now. And then yeah, everything is just shoved in this corner until I can rearrange. I have my Michelitzianas here. Both my variegated ones are doing so well. They keep giving me so many blooms. My Michelitziana has given me like, I've cut off like, I swear like 10 blooms. She's given me so many blooms. And my variegated ones are starting to do it too. Look at this leaf on her. Absolutely gorgeous. I chopped all my Syndapsis back. They were all the way down to the floor. I think I did that in a reel. I have a bloom on my Polynura. It's very sappy though. I'm gonna have to move her before the ants come in, or at least maybe chop the bloom off, but look at all that sap. Ugh. My Burl Marks Monstera Flame is pushing a new leaf. I don't know if it's gonna be fenestrated yet, but I'm very excited to see. And yeah, I need to get that one on a pole. That's the Lech Theriana there. And my mint, I have a couple yellow leaves. I think it got angry at me, so I had to redo the pot, and it had 2 long roots that were escaping, so I kind of damaged them a little trying to get the root system back in there. So she got a little angry at me, but it'll be okay. This is the new Aria that I got from Rare Plant Fairy, and I have so much browning. I've only watered this plant twice, and look at all the browning. Look at that. The newest leaf hasn't browned, so I'm thinking it's just adjusting to my space. I haven't actually checked the root system, which I feel like it's probably, usually when I get browning, it's a root health issue. So that's something I'm gonna do sooner than later, is unpot this and check the root system out. And I don't get browning on my regular Aria. She's right here. She's beautiful. The newest leaf is right here. I know it's kind of like backlit for you, but she is absolutely gorgeous. Oh, look at her. That leaf is so pretty. And this one here, she is like my absolute favorite. I love her so much. The Albo and Pawn is really, really growing like crazy. This Albo seriously loves Pawn. The newest leaves are bigger, but they're not as variegated. But I think I saw one was pushing a new growth. Yes, right there. They usually push growth at the same time, so she's probably gonna get ready to push on the other side. But I extended her pole. I'm doing the clear pole for her right here, so I don't have anything in it. It's just for support, but it is freaking loving semi-hydro. My other variegated one here is giving me some gorgeous growth. Look at this. Look at that. Stunning. I have no words. The ficus I have in the window, the Shivriana, is growing a ton of new leaves. I chopped my pearls the other day because it was getting too long. I haven't chopped my hearts yet, but I'm going to. I was able to space out these alocasias. It's not as crowded, but they're definitely outgrowing the space very quickly. I need to upsize so many of them. Makoyana is freaking ginormous down here on the floor. She is huge. I need to water her actually, she's dry. Here's my silver band. I wanted to show you the new leaves coming in. I need to water her though. I'm behind on watering some plants in here. I need to water her, and then my variegated Maranta I need to do in pond. These are the variegated cuttings that I took. So I feel like once I move that to pond, I'm really gonna get some great variegation. All these alocasias are starting to bloom now. So many blooms. I should try pollinating though. That'd be cool if I created a alocasia hybrid. So yeah, that's pretty much the update in here. I have some watering to do. It's chaotic. I'm gonna spend a day in here and do some watering, or not do some watering, do some chopping. I really need to get my plant room taken care of. Everything is just super overgrown. Once I kind of get this rearranged, I'm definitely gonna do more chopping because I have some of my plants in here as well that I need to take care of. And I added a ton more props. I chopped my like Florida Ghost and Florida Beauty. They're all the way back there, so I have a lot of work to do. And I also chopped my Pink Princess right there, my big one. So I'm gonna have a ton of props. Let's go ahead and dump this Calathea out and see if we can figure out what's going on with her. I have a feeling her root system is probably messed up, which is so weird. Let's dump her out. I have a bucket down here. But I'm gonna go ahead and just put her into water, so I'm gonna have to get rid of everything that's here. Just kind of removing some of this dirt. I think this is the original mix. I don't know if I ever repotted her, because this is all like cocoa husk and, or cocoa core and perlite. You can separate Calathea through the rhizomes, but this is a dead one here. There's like nothing. So we're gonna get rid of that one. So I basically have 4 rhizomes. Like this is one here. Here's another one. Okay, I'm gonna rinse this underwater. This is what we're left with. So we have our 4 cuttings. This one has a little bit of roots. We have this one and then these 2 here. I know not all this is healthy, but I rinsed what I could off. And then I'm gonna put this in a vase of water and we're gonna reroot it. It is so strange how this rotted like this. But I knew once the leaves started curling that it wasn't happy. So this was in my bathroom. So I'm just gonna stick it back in there with this vase of water. Once it re-roots, I'll put it into pond. I think I'll try Calathea in pond. So yeah, that is our little rehab session with this one. One last little update I wanted to show you is with my snake plants. Oh God, that lizard scared me. Do you see it back there? So this one has bloomed, my Sayuri. All the blooms are kind of dying up, but they were so pretty the other day. I'll insert a photo of when they were like freshly opened. And this one here hasn't opened yet. There's another stalk. And then this one actually is now blooming again. So this one bloomed last year and you can see all those bloom spikes coming up. So cool how they're both blooming again. Well, this one didn't bloom yet, but that one did. But I just think the blooms are so cool. I don't really notice much of a smell. It's very faint if it does have a smell, but it's just so cool. That's really the only update out here. And then out here, the only real update, I would say everyone's doing well. The ficus has put out a ton of new growth. It really likes being out here. You can see all these are new leaves. So it has 1, 2, 3 main vines. Oh no, 3 main vines here, and this is the new growth, the new node that it randomly decided to do. The oxalis is doing really well since being outside. Look at all the blooms. And Monstera has 2 new leaves, that one, and then this one right here is a new leaf. And then the banana put out this new leaf here since being out here. So that's it for today. That's all the update I'm gonna do. My husband and I are actually getting ready to leave really quick. We're gonna go to the hardware store and I might be tempted to film a shopping video while I'm there just to film, but I wanna go with them to look at the plants. I'm glad I got a couple of tasks done with the new plants and that Calathea, and I'm glad I could update you a little bit on everyone. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will chat with you here soon.